Welcome back and thank you very much. Christmas is here, happiness is near. Welcome back to TV3. This is the big issue. My name is Johnny Hughes, and don't be surprised. I doff my hat with love and respect for all of you, and we're going to be wearing this till the close of Christmas, special one there. And also, just to remind you that we encourage all our cherished viewers and our clients to take advantage of the ongoing COVID-19 vaccination campaign to vaccinate. Look for the vaccination centers close to you in any government hospital, regional district hospitals, and get vaccinated. You live or work, go for it. It could save your life and those near and dear to you. So get vaccinated. It's important that you do. And also, just to inform you that Johnny's Bite is on a temporary break, not because we're getting pressure from anywhere. Nobody can give us pressure. Johnny's Bite is on break because we all want to tone down and enjoy the Christmas. So nobody can intimidate, nobody can pressure, nobody can go through your bishop or archbishop or go through your bosses. We are just on break because Christmas is close and we just all want to tone down, pipe down, and enjoy. After Christmas, we will be back on with Johnny's Bite. We have a lot of content to share with you, so keep hope alive and keep supporting us. Thank you very much for the support thus far. Happy birthday to Sarah Entua Mensah. You were 70 years old on the 19th of December. That was Sunday. This is from Mrs. Esther Elaine Smith. Esther Elaine Osewusi, sorry about that. Esther Elaine Osewusu is 70 years old. You are with the Rafwa, retired officer's wife of the Ghana Armed Forces. Happy belated birthday to you. Also to you, belated one, senior lady Nana Madankwa Smith. It was your birthday yesterday. And also to Nana Kwame Nchibwesiako Supo, business in Edum Kumasi. It's your birthday today. Happy birthday. If it's your birthday as well, happy birthday to you. As I said earlier, take advantage of the vaccination that's ongoing and deal with it. And also, happy birthday from Major Francis Kaku to Catherine Kofi of the ECG Roman Ridge. It's your birthday today. You have been amazing. And it says happy birthday to you, Princess. And we wish you long life and prosperity there. Now, if it's your birthday today, we're celebrating with you today. The Daily Graphic this morning says Ghana wins case in Norway. Parliament fails to approve E-Levy Bill 2021. Utah is here. Police scale up security. What's on the back page? Water facility to serve 3,500 in Hunter West, and traders arrested over adulterated palm oil. The Republic Press is next. It says boxing MPs go home after E-blows and, did I say E-slap? I don't know. Ashanti region tops teenage pregnancy in Ghana. 5 suspected assassins gunned down by police. And cleaner jailed 12 months for stealing GRA computers. And police gunned down robbers at EAG. Jean Mensah did not attend MPP delegates conference. EC clarifies. So she was not the lady that's been circulating in the press. Custodian newspaper. Baumia launches e-pharmacy digital platform today. Deal with miscreants, Boku chiefs to security agencies, and stop rascal MPs. Nyako say urges Ambrose, Mr. Kennedy Nyako say MP for Akim Street. And big banner headline, you can't hold parliament to ransom. Majority leader tells Bagbin. Can you not be sick as well? Well, the Ghanaian Times. MPs in brawl over E-Levy. Parliament adjourns Senegal. 99 offending drivers arrested in Sekondi Takrady Metropolis. Government approves funds for RegSec activities. And gridlock in Accra. Drivers, commuters experience awful U-turn traffic jam. I went through it this morning. It's not funny at all. Ryvac releases 30-man provisional stars squad. And that's what you have there. Also, Ghana National Fire Service advises Ghanaians to observe fire precautions during the Utah. The Finder newspaper, morning to Elvis Daku. Dr. Baumia to launch e-pharmacy digital platform today. Digitalization of the economy would help protect public press. President Akufo-Addo. and will work tirelessly to protect lives. IGP. Big banner headline, voting on E-Levy postponed to 2022 as Parliament resumes January 18. Reminds me of the Kumipreku days on VAT 1995, postponed to 1998 and implemented finally. Consultation is key. Daily Guide, more investments in education coming. Dr. Osei Educhum is Minister for Education. Ghana wins Norway Chancery case and Sosi to amend incompetent motion against the IGP. Beast in Parliament, free for all fight. Esewini and Sawokashe. Milo hands for debutants, AFCON tickets, and AFCON will go ahead. CAF Chief Samuel Eto'o. Also, Pele blesses Mbappe and majority in favor of Biennial World Cup. My guest this morning, Dr. Stephen Amoah. He is the Member of Parliament for the Nshiasu constituency. He is also here on the ticket of the NPP, and even though he's the first time in Parliament, he's been addressing press conferences. And also, lawyer Godwin Eduji Kujo Tamaklo. He's a member of the NDC's legal and communications team. He joins me here in studio. Gentlemen, welcome. Good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning.
Stephen, good morning. I had to wear this because you're looking casual as well. So.
Good morning. I'm okay. I'm all right.
You're fine. You look very casual today.
Actually,
you're on holiday.
Not really. I think I couldn't really wake up well. We've been going through a lot of stressful times. And the whole body is very tired. Fatigue has set in. Yeah. And I caught malaria for a few days during our conference.
Okay.
So, but I think I've recovered. I'm okay.
I see. Because I saw you in Parliament, very cool, calm, collected, nice blue suit.
At least I've learned my lessons.
I hear you. Councillor, how are you?
By the grace of the Almighty.
I just you to pumping there.
From here, I have to go and look for daily bread.
Court is beyond daily bread, man.
It's daily bread.
Court is daily bread. Eh?
No, it's beyond daily bread.
I hear you. Stephen, let's start from Parliament. So, what happened in Parliament?
Johnny, before you go, I think this may possibly be our very last interaction with our viewers.
It could be.
It could be.
Yeah, yours, not mine.
No. I mean, for this year. And on that basis, I want to use this opportunity to wish all our cherished viewers, the persons who have associated with us throughout the year, a Merry Christmas, a prosperous New Year. We are confident that the years coming, the pain and hardship in the country, the president will be more focused and deliver to make things better for the good people of this country. It is on that note that I want to once again show our opposition clearly to the E-Levy.
You're not trying to introduce topics for me. I will not agree to that. Well, so let's quickly take a look at two videos in succession. The Honorable Joe Sewusu, who is the first Deputy Speaker of Parliament, who is also the MP for Bekwai, and unfailingly we've been told how the people of Bekwai need to be represented. I've heard views from the side in Parliament, in public, talking about the fact that the people of Santo Kofi, Akpafu, Likpe, and Lolobi, Sao, do not have a representative in the 8th Parliament of the Republic of Ghana. The Electoral Commission announced to them on the eve of the main election that they weren't going to have a representative. Well, we're 1 year down the line. The Electoral Commission has not taken steps to give them a representative, but on and on and on, we are told how some people deserve representation in Parliament, as if the people of Santo Kofi, Akpafu, Lolobi, and Likpe do not need a representative as well. But take a look at this video. We'll come back to have that conversation, the brawl in Parliament.
Honourable members, when it comes to the question of voting, it is very clear. Any time any of the deputy speakers or any other member elected to preside is in the chair, that member does not vote. That has never been in dispute. Anytime a member is presiding, either the deputy speaker or a member who by necessity is elected from among members to preside, that person does not have members. Because we don't have a division room, I'm advised that the agreement is that we'll all file out, and then the years will come and they are counted. After that, the noes will come and they are counted. But let me put on record that as soon as I leave the seat, I'm entitled to vote. And midway, when the second deputy speaker has voted, he will relieve me and I will cast my vote. Thank you.
So that's Honorable Joe Sewusu, popularly known as Joe Wise. He is first deputy speaker in the 8th Parliament of the Republic of Ghana. Stephen, I'll start this with you. How did you feel? Because I saw you when the division started. You came in your nice, bespoke blue suit, bowed, went to take your seat. How did you feel when you saw your colleagues on the speaker's days throwing blows at each other and in a WWE fashion? How did you feel?
Thank you very much. First, because we're approaching Christmas. Just a second. I would like to wish the entire Ghanaian community a Merry Christmas, and also pray that we are ushered into a more stable and more prosperous and more united New Year 2022, especially the good people of Inshiayeso constituency, the Otumfo, Asantehene, Gamanche, all the chiefs in the country, and then the president and the wife, the vice president and the wife, the opposition leaders, His Excellency former President Mahama, and the Vice Nanaji, all of us, I mean the media, everyone. Right. I'm sure Ghana will be better off. Those who plant food for us, farmers, those who clean for us, the taxi drivers, all of them. I would like to say that next year, by the grace of God, inshallah, it shall be well with us. Amen. Amen. I think, of course, anything of that nature, nobody will be happy with it. However, it does happen once in a while. Even in some of the developed economies, it does happen. They exchange blows. That doesn't mean it has to be accepted and entertained in Ghana. It does happen. Sometimes we all lose it and make mistakes, and it happens. If we were to apportion blames, then I think the issue of I don't understand, or this is my position, or that is my position, I'll move to where the speaker is. We must put an end to that. Because that is what actually started all these exchanges, the blows. We could always have misunderstanding. This whole thing has a remote cause. And I think the remote cause started from when the finance minister agreed to the concerns raised by my minority brothers and said that, okay, give me just a short time for me to engage leaders from both political divides. And that was not taken. His prayer was not taken, and it was put to... Was his prayer not taken? No, it was not taken. I was in Parliament that day. No, let me explain to you. He asked the Speaker that this should happen. And they said that, I'm a first timer, but our leader said the NDC could not say anything, NDC members in Parliament, sorry, that the first time this thing had happened, such prayer, the discretion lies with the Speaker. He has the prerogative right to accept, say I've accepted or not. But then the Speaker said that, okay, the House should decide. In other words, we have to put to... I thought that I was in Parliament. I heard Speaker Bagbin say that
in fact, the prayer that was being sought was that that was the last day for the debates, where the majority leader and the minority leader had to make their closing statements and the question will be put. Then the majority leader had raised the question, suggesting that he wanted the finance minister to make an input. That's the prayer. And then the Speaker of Parliament granted that. So after the minority leader spoke, the majority leader spoke, then the finance minister was given an opportunity to speak, during which he had indicated that he wanted to meet with the leadership of Parliament.
That's what I'm saying.
So his prayer was granted.
His prayer, if it wasn't granted, why would you have spoken? I'm not talking about that phase.
Right.
He was allowed to.
That's right.
That one is clear. I mean, nobody will come and say it wasn't clear.
That's right.
But then, for the speaker to say that the House should decide on what he was asking, they said it was very unconventional. It had never happened.
Is that not the practice in Parliament?
That's what they say it had never happened.
Right.
Whether that was wrong or right, that's not what I'm talking about.
But I'm saying also that, for example, in Parliament, when the debate had been held all week, it was out of place for the finance minister to have even come to ask for injury time.
We've moved beyond what you're saying.
No, I'm saying that.
Can we address the phase I'm talking about?
No, so I'm saying that in Parliament, at least I've covered Parliament since 2008. I'm saying that in Parliament, it was unconventional for the finance minister to come and ask for injury time at that time, to say he wants now to engage the leadership.
No, it happens all the time. I'm not talking about it. I'm coming. Since I came to Parliament, not even once a while, many a time, they can break for, suspend for maybe 30 minutes, 1 hour. It happens. Even sometimes it can happen twice during a sitting. So for him to say that, okay, you've raised about that, even that day, they raised about 3 issues. Right. The tidal waves.
It was actually 5.
No, that day. In fact, the other 2 were not really remarkable. I'm not saying they were not important, but to them, their concentrations were on the tidal waves, the E-Levy, and the Japan. The ACA and all those other facts were quite silent, even though they said they were part of their concerns. But the finance minister humbly prayed that, let me meet the leaders the stakeholder leaders or stakeholder bodies or whatever. And I think that was the best opportunity in terms of time resource for stakeholders to have decided that, maybe we could judge and say, we are taking it out, we are reducing it, we are holding on to this. And there was explanation for this tidal waves. That, maybe there was a mistake, but they considered already, government had put in about 1.5 billion, solving some of it. So there were issues, but they said no.
But where was the finance minister all week
but every
through?
Second, it's not one-on-one. Can I flow?
Where was the finance minister all week through when the debate was happening in Parliament? Because the finance minister had an opportunity, or Charles Edubuahin or his 2 deputies, Abena, to have been present at the debate and to have shaped the debate. So because through all the week when the debate was happening.
But because to you, Abena was there, Samta Edubuahin comes, John Kuma, Honorable was also there, and because to you, this thing could not be
addressed. It's not because to me.
So, but what you're saying?
I'm saying, where was the finance
all along,
minister?
you are not making me talk. I think we are doing one-on-one.
No, Stephen, you are my brother. I'm saying
we are not doing one-on-one.
I'm saying, where was the
let me put my thoughts together.
Okay,
then
please put it together. I'm saying, where was the finance minister?
Your questions are very legitimate. I'm not saying they are wrong, but I think it's like
go ahead. Sorry about that.
I agree to what you are saying.
Sorry about that.
Sorry, I agree to what you are saying, and even a lot of other people. And trenching on your point, I said that if there had been far earlier consultation on these things, just as you are raising, that definitely during the debate, these things had been whispered already, or they had said it. So if they had really sat down to resolve it, I agree. But please, that doesn't also mean that when the finance minister was asked, and he humbly said, okay, can we have short time? That was where all these problems started. I think my minority brothers had rather taken prejudicial and entrenched positions. Because if they had agreed, we had suspended the House for maybe 30 minutes or 1 hour, probably something good could have come out of it. We wouldn't have gotten where we are. But having said whether they were wrong or right, or if maybe majority side, which I don't know, because I always use this phrase and people laugh, asymmetric information. Maybe I'm a stakeholder, but I don't know whether at the top they had engaged them. maybe if they had also done far earlier consultation with them, and all stakeholders had offered open culture systems where, I mean, they could judge all individuals or group opinions have been taken, brought on board, well, explanations given. Because I personally, as a finance person, anybody that is speaking against this evil, in my opinion, when you say they change the story, somebody said they were fools. How can I use that word? But I'm saying that people sometimes do not understand certain areas. Where Ghana is today, boss, let's be honest. We had gone through almost 20 months of impaired productivity. Whether you can say out of politics, no professor can change this financial economic analysis. Markets were not being active. Industries, even at a point in time, we had to stay home. Cars were not moving, ships were not going, nobody was working. Government was paying civil and public service workers in this country. Government was performing other obligations in terms of expenditure, both statutory, quasi-statutory, and even discretionary ones.
We shut only 3 places down, not the whole country.
What are you saying?
We shut Accra, Tema, Kaswa, Kumasi down.
But let me ask you.
Bole, Bamboy, Bogatanga, Wa.
When I say, I made the general, but let me tell you, these things affected those areas. Because some of them were coming to and fro, coming to do business and embark on activities. And the major economic activities in this country, check out these areas.
But our ports were not closed.
Ports, how many ships were coming?
Our ports were not closed.
How many ships were coming?
I just need to place on record.
I never said the ports were closed. I have never made that statement. But you knew that ports were seriously affected adversely to the extent that even the few ships that were coming, things were charging $4,000, $2,000. They were charging $12,000. Let's be fair with ourselves.
Right.
And because our market and industry activities were sluggish, our GDP was not growing. That one is not any economic manager's fault.
Right.
I mean, it was not growing. However, government was spending. We were having revenue shortfalls, over 11 billion. And once you spend and your economy is not growing because of the pandemic, you have debt to GDP being high. Nobody can change this. They can do whatever politics they want to. Then stakeholders, including our minority brothers, raised a lot of good concerns. And they were like, no, we are borrowing too much. Whether it's our fault to borrow or not, the borrowing is going up. So we should bring that down. So if we are not borrowing, you are being careful with borrowing. What is the other option for financing?
But even before COVID, we were borrowing.
But before colonial days, after colonial borrowing, that's what we are talking about. Can I concentrate on my destiny, please?
Go ahead.
What you are doing is not right.
Go ahead.
Let's have constructive discussion.
Go ahead.
Because if you don't, I'll go home.
Go ahead.
And be honest with you.
No, you can't.
If you do, I'll walk up.
You can't threaten
because
me.
No. So I can
drink
leave.
tea.
Can you relax for me to put my things together?
Relaxed.
I'm trying to tolerate you, but what you're doing is very wrong.
You are trying to tolerate me.
No, yes, because what you are doing is wrong. No. If you like, I'll leave your show. It's your show. Because what you are doing is not fair. We are not doing one-on-one. Please. I've tried to be very humble and respectful. Let me speak.
Stephen.
No. If you do, I'll go.
Stephen, tone down.
If you do, I'll leave.
Stephen, tone down.
Let me finish.
Stephen,
then you ask me a question.
Stephen,
why are you doing this?
Tone down. You can't threaten me on my show.
No, I'm not threatening you. I want to express my fundamental rights on your project. Just stop.
I've extended.
But how can you say we borrow? Who doesn't know we don't borrow?
Stephen, I'm
stop
saying
being
that,
cheeky. You are a moderator. You are not being
Stephen, tone down.
Thing you do, I don't like.
Please. I have extended.
You are not doing the right thing.
Stephen,
Stop. Let me speak.
Hold on. This strategy is old.
What you are doing is very outmoded and primitive. You should stop. Don't say it's old.
Stephen, I've extended to you all courtesies, including
what you are doing is bad. It doesn't matter. But you cannot bring me here and behave this way.
So you're saying I shouldn't ask you questions?
You should, but what you do, you're not even allowing me to talk. You're not doing one-on-one.
Have you not spoken for 4 minutes already?
No, you're putting words into my mouth. Have I said we don't borrow?
Now I'm saying that you complain about borrowing.
I never said, I complain, but what I said, have I said that we have no right to? You just take me out of my track. You don't want me to even talk.
Okay, go ahead.
I'm making this fine analysis. Let me finish. You ask me a question.
Go ahead.
Then you don't want me to do it.
So I can't ask questions when I see
I'm not saying you can't ask questions, but you cannot say that we are doing one-on-one. Okay. I cannot finish a sentence. How?
Oh, you are speaking for 4 minutes. Go ahead.
If you like, take your show.
Let
me finish.
Go ahead.
So why are you doing this?
Go ahead.
So now how can I even continue where I started?
Go ahead.
It's not right. Please. What I'm trying to say is that people advise us that we're borrowing, which it wasn't our fault, because we're having revenue shortfalls. But trying to listen to the advice and trying to find the only option left was to take revenues. Look, between 2014 and 2016, our brothers who are in minority and complaining, taxes they increase or they impose on Ghanaians, they were 26. I'll send them to you right now. It's never occurred. 26 tax components. 2017, MPP government under His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo either reduced or took away entirely 16 tax components. These were the financial services like Kayayo, imported drugs, not manufactured in Ghana, goods and services, all those, they are here. So if you're even talking about which regime is considering Ghanaians in terms of mitigating hardship on them by introduction or increment of taxes, we have done so much work. But the situation we find ourselves in, our fiscal space is congested. Debt to GDP is over 77%. Talking about that, we have unemployment there. Talking about social intervention, but we have interest payment. Interest payment is as a result of accumulated debt, not only from NDC to MPP time. So these are all things that we ourselves, we know as a country, we cannot sit down and joke with. Those who are saying we should not tax using the E-Levy or say we should reduce them, I'm not saying they have no right to express the opinion, but they should give us proper detailed document that, okay, if you even reduce the tax component or levy component by 2% or 1% or 0.5%, we can generate 1 billion a year. Looking at our obligation space as a country, the 1 billion will be okay. So please, you cannot charge this. Then we all can go by it. But nobody in Ghana today, even with the experts who are not politicians, have been able to tell Ghanaians that with our obligations in terms of what we have to spend, the things government have to achieve for the good people of this country, for ourselves, it will cost us 1 billion. This tax, if we do it 1%, it will be able to. Then we all agree. But it's like, just as probably NDC, MPP did, that you were talking about during the Kumi Preko time. The same thing are happening. Okay, do we continue to do politics because MPP did, NDC did, MPP did? When NDC wins power, MPP, I'm sure, will do the same thing. But let's ask ourselves, is it concentrating Ghana in a very strategic position to change our country from where we are? That is not. So the point I'm making is that we should all be careful the way, it's like the work that you are doing, despite the argument. I can't do your work the way I'm doing it. It's your field. Me, I'm a financial economic person.
Right.
Lawyer, I can't do it. But we have a country today that somebody can even criticize a medical doctor, and the person is like probably my mother, who cannot read and write. And this is changing the thinking cap and the decision-making processes of Ghanaians. And it's not only MPP and DC that will suffer. All of us will suffer. So what I'm saying is that those who are claiming the E-Levy is good or bad or we should reduce should give us a detailed, proper work document so that we can all be convinced and say that this is it. But not because of politics or because we want to display our ego trips or unconscious incompetence or intellectual dishonesty. It's not going to get well for us.
I'm sure you have also heard the argument people make that, look, show us what you have done with the taxes you have collected. For example, you want to collect E-Levy, and the argument is that you want to use E-Levy to create jobs for young people and all of that. But you had previously collected the communication service tax, which you said you were going to use to create jobs for young people and also to help fight cybercrime. Are you able to point Ghanaians into the direction of saying we created X number of jobs in electronics, we created this, in communication we created the X number of jobs, in fisheries we created X number of jobs, blah, blah, blah. Then people can then have confidence in you that once you collect the money, you utilize this well, because tax mobilization is equivalent to tax utilization. Once you collect the tax, you use it, you point the people in the direction which you have used the tax, then you can inspire tax compliance. But now you have not shown them what you have done with their money. Can you come back confidently to come and collect money? That's where the pushback is coming from.
Lawyer, see, such intelligent question. You are so good, but sometimes you don't even allow us to speak.
Allow me to do my work.
You are very smart, but you intentionally
allow me to do my work.
You see, the question you are asking, if I tell you I hold the document here right now, I'll be a liar. I don't want to say that I lie to you. But in terms of job creation, it's not only just one area. let's not forget about the fact that the IMF banned public service employment. You remember from 2012.
There were conditionalities.
Even including health sector, the essential activities in any country or society. This government came. What happens? Go and check. The health sector, some IT officers were employed there from 2012, 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020. They have started working on that. Apart from the NAPCO, which was probably temporary for them to learn skills. Even where I was asked to manage Maslock, we offered about 100,000 beneficiaries money to do business, expand, or start, or go into entrepreneurship. About 78% of them were women. Out of that, about 62% were youth. So you look at this government, there is still unemployment issue. I always say that unemployment, we cannot blame only MPP or NDC. From colonial masters up to now, we have not been able to match population growth with employment expansion. We have not been able to create conducive environment for stable jobs. We as capitalists, we are not like the Social Democrats. They are supposed to create direct jobs as central government. We rather help the private sector. And that is why when we come, you see some of our fiscal policies, monetary policies, i.e. interest rates and co, we try to bring them so low so the private sector will develop and employ people. This is our work. And if interest rate has been reduced from almost 40%, that's about 37% in 2016 to 21%, it means the government's endeavor to create jobs in the area of private sector is on course, except that we still have a lot of people unemployed because it has been there for so many years before former President Mahama and before this government. But what we are trying to say, and I agree with you, is that Ghanaians want to know more, understand more, the taxes they pay, how effective, how efficient, how judicious we use them, because we also have a lot of leakages. A lot of leakages along the value chains of projects in Ghana, whether government A or B. People steal, the money is paid by people are used not for productive areas, and that they become concerned. You understand? That one I agree.
In fact, the finance minister was asked to provide those details, which would then be the launch pad into whether to accept the 1.75 E-Levy or not. Those details have not been provided.
No, let me tell you.
Tell me finally, so that council can come in. Let's be fair to council. Our opposition
brothers, respectfully, believe so much in propaganda. You see, but that's a fact. Okay. They've been having propaganda secretary.
Go ahead.
Yeah, recently that they changed only the caption.
To communication officer.
But the content was the same. They hadn't changed the extract were the same. You see, you know what they do, and that is why they always win the propaganda war against NPP. They know how to sell their product. They know the caliber of people they are dealing in Ghana here. They know bad news fly. When has any minister, and even in our budget, we state the jobs we've created and other things, except that they don't give detailed work, as in one in here, one on the road, two on this. In any case, the NDC government of fraternity, they have been in power, if you add even PNDC, far more than any other political fraternity in our country. Let me ask you, had they done that? That they give details. But we were able to catalog the jobs we've created, even in the area of agriculture, in the area of trade and industry, in the area of, infrastructure, in the area of IT, health sector, teachers, nurses. Do you know we've, even under Nanado, about 100,000 teachers, new teachers, have been employed. Are you aware of that?
Were those details provided in Parliament so that it will engender the confidence of the minority to say we will endorse the E-Levy?
In Parliament, yes. In fact, in Parliament was the first time, because they asked questions that I heard from Education Minister, that MPP came, about 90,000 to 100,000 teachers have been employed. It was in Parliament. So these questions are then the minority brothers, they know. But what they want to do is, right now, if you ask me, I should tell you A, B, C, I might have known. But because I haven't prepared, it's not within my jurisdiction.
That's only fair to you.
But the point is, boss, under this government, I'm asking one thing, that anybody that is honest and serve this God, we are all serving. Me, I'm not holy, I'm not angel. Either Korean or Bible. Should do Ghana one good thing. Pick every performance parameter everything, right from infrastructure, economy, social, everything, security, that Akufo-Addo's government took over 2017, 7 January. And please find out that each of them today, is it better or worse? So that we stop doing the propaganda and the wishy-washy, we are suffering. Well, nobody say nobody is not suffering. Is there any era in Ghana's history that nobody has suffered? But let's know that if we hand over TV3 to you today, after some time, the only way to know whether you've done well or not is that you had this number of items, this painting, your cash flows, your turnover, this number of staff. Are they the same or worse or better?
I'll tell you something.
And they don't want to do
I'll
that
tell you
because
something.
it's better today. All of them, about 90%.
I'll tell you something. My scorecard is that when we took over TV3NewDay, we were number 3. We have been number 1 since 2018. So that's our scorecard here on TV3NewDay. We have been number 1.
So that's a reference point.
So when we are asking for your scorecard, you should be able to tell us.
But me say, so that's what I'm telling you. If you allow me now,
okay,
I can tell you that T-bills are better. Let me tell you all, T-bills were about 22.5. Now it's about 14. Even government interest rate was higher than today lending rate, 25.5, now 21. Inflation rate was around 15.4. Now it's about 11. Talking about even reserve, now we're having more months. Talking about pro-poor policies, we've been able to strengthen those we had, and we have even added one major segment, pro-poor policy. They are all there. You can see how clean Accra is becoming.
I hear you.
See the streets of Accra.
Accra is becoming clean?
Of course. It's better. I'm not saying it's totally clean. At least the streets that we all drive on.
I hear you. Quickly answer this for me. Was the first Deputy Speaker of Parliament really shaking like a leaf, as your leader said?
How can I answer this question?
But you were in Parliament, you were on his side. You saw the Speaker. Did you not see Joe Wise in Parliament?
But then he was shaking like what?
Yeah, your leader said he was shaking like a leaf.
My leader was closer to him than me.
Okay.
I'm far.
Okay, yeah, I know you're a backbencher.
Exactly.
But did you see him shaking like a leaf?
But anybody would have been worried what the NDC guys started doing.
No. It's not about the worry. He said the man was sick, he was shaking like a leaf. I'm asking you.
Sick. In fact, before God and man, I heard even before he had complained he wasn't well.
Okay.
Not to me, but before this God, he had complained. A colleague told me that, First Deputy Speaker even said he wasn't well. Because they said Speaker too wasn't well.
Okay.
You know, Speaker hasn't been well for some time.
That's right, yeah.
So that's about whether he was shivering or shaking. I wouldn't say something I'm not 100% sure because I was very far. I'm very last.
Would you want to trust your leader, what he said that he was shaking like a leaf?
Sabonsu, trust me, he's not a perfect but that man is a very honest person.
I hear you.
But being honest doesn't mean you can't make mistakes.
I hear you. So he was shaking like a leaf. You want to agree with that?
So that's all that you're interested in?
No, I'm asking you a question. I have not concluded. Why are you concluding?
But it's possible he could. Okay. You can shiver. I can. When I get malaria, about 4 days ago, I had malaria.
You can shake like a leaf.
Even fear, your adrenaline. Some people, when the adrenaline is released, they show different signs in terms of body gesture and other things. So it's possible.
Can shake like a leaf. Okay.
Well, is it wrong to
Council, step in for me. Like so your side in Parliament engaged in fisticuffs with the majority over an E-Levy. So the bottom line is that the government wants to impose an E-Levy. You are against it. And that's the basis for the blows, if you like. What do you say now? What next?
You see, Johnny, when you are dealing with a group of people who have in their DNA lawlessness, no respect for their own rules, I mean standing orders, you are left with no other option than to deal with them on their own terms. More so, when the person you expect to be the leader of government business is not willing to be honest to the conversation, then it begins to tell you that you cannot deal with these people on the turf of decency. No. The reason why I make this point is this. You recall, when Minister Kenoforiata put the budget before Parliament on behalf of the President, among other things, he indicated that they were going to suspend the collection of tolls. You recall? Now, immediately the budget, and in the minister's own words, that the suspension takes effect once the budget is approved.
But then the ministry has also made an argument that the minister has the right to do that.
I'm coming.
Suspension.
Thankfully, in this country, we are organized by the rule of law and not the rule of men, like Amwakwata. In this country, as early as 1975, we had the NRCD,
Lawyer Amwakwata,
which is the Tolls Act.
That's right.
That Tolls Act has organized the collection of tolls in this country. In 1999, we amended the Tolls Act to become the Tolls Amendment Act, 1999, Act 390. That particular legislation does not give the minister the power to suspend. It does not. Now you have a situation when the minister, in a very reckless manner, proceeded to suspend the tolls without recourse to Parliament. What happened? This same Oseche Mensah Bonsu came out to say that the reason why the minister did that was that they were fisticuffs.
Do you have reason to doubt him?
In the 38, you on this platform had asked the minister to show one evidence
that was
of physical.
That was on Johnny's Bite, not
absolutely, but that's your platform. To date, they have not been, and you want to believe this.
Johnny's Bite is on break.
You see, this morning you have done something very fantastic. You've played the video of Osei to the viewing public. In that video, he made it clear that he was going to leave the chair to allow Esiama to assume so that he can go and vote. So this afterthought, rationalization by Chairman Sabonsu, is gross disrespect to the people who elected him as MP. He has no respect for those people. He has no respect for the intelligence of the good people of this country. And he thinks that he can, in a very shameful manner, tell us that Osei had a stomach upset and that he was shaking like a leaf.
Do you have a different view?
The man himself had already said, okay, the man himself had already indicated on the floor why he was about to leave. And you know what they wanted to do really? Is to allow Osei go out there, get counted, and their retort will be, if you disagree, go to court. We have made it abundantly clear to the MPP that the issue about going to court won't happen again.
Why?
No, we'll resolve everything at that place.
Why?
No. You see?
But that's the result of what we saw.
Yes,
that's embarrassing.
No, embarrassing to who?
To all of us.
Please, you see, the kind of people that we are dealing with, the people we are dealing with, look at their history. They believe in confrontational politics. And so, if you are not careful in dealing with them, and you think that reason and common sense will prevail, they will overcome.
But we don't need to be throwing blows at each other. Just to make a point.
You see,
we can argue.
Let me tell you. Today, as we speak, there's an MP in Parliament representing the people of Techiman South. Correct?
That's right.
Before he became MP, 9 innocent people were killed. What has happened to them? What has happened to the 9 innocent people that were slaughtered to enable one person become an MP?
The police is investigating.
No!
Why?
As we speak, our party had to even take the initiative of going to the police, going to Shraj. Nothing had happened. And you think these people are willing?
And it's MPP.
Just on the first, in fact, your own Hansard, which recalls what happened in Parliament, recalls the honorable, in fact, at this point, I have to withdraw the word honorable. Joe Osei. Because you see, the misconduct is becoming unbecoming.
That's not fair to him.
And he's putting the reputation of the entire Parliament of the Republic of Ghana into disrepute.
How so?
And you see, instead of us condemning his conduct, can you imagine a situation where myself and this man, the Honorable
Dr.
Sticker,
Stephen Amor,
Okay? We go into a football match. There is a referee. There's time for penalty taking. The 5 have done with the penalty. Now the referee says he wants to join one of the group to take a penalty. And you say these people, you want to reason with them? These are not persons you reason with. Because you see, they have come to the conclusion, I don't know how, that anything, they'll say go to court.
But then how many days of shame can we have? We started with violence on the 7th of January.
Do you know why?
We are ending with violence. It doesn't look good on us.
Do you know why today the U.S. will not risk attacking China? Because there's a principle in, like international diplomacy, mutually assured destruction. When your opponent knows that if he hits you, you return fire in equal measure, you will not try it. Let them, as this parliament proceeds, try this thing again. And you see, like H.E. John Dramani Mahama said.
But that's a threat.
I am saying it on this platform.
Why are you threatening them?
Like H.E. John Dramani Mahama said, going forward, it is going to be do or die. And we mean every word of it.
But you're setting fire. That's not good.
No, you see, when moral society, the people who are supposed to call these people to order, now associate with them. And you know what the president has done? The people who used to talk and authority will listen to, he gives them appointments. So each one of them is eating. So it is difficult for them to call this erring administration to order. We are not going to countenance it going forward. Now you see, we are talking about E-Levy conversation.
Right.
Our friends are telling us that, oh, come on board and let's go MP. And the proponent of the E-Levy is no other person but President Akufo-Addo.
And you're making his life difficult.
The man who led Kumipreku.
But you're making his life difficult.
In fact, if there is anything called hypocrisy, it is what he represents.
Really?
Today, do you know what VAT has done to the economy of Ghana? But for VAT, we won't have national health insurance. But for VAT, we are not going to have Get Fund. But for VAT, we are not going to have Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund. The last time I checked, we are even using proceeds of the Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund to support the Puma project. And who are the people behind Puma project? The husband of our First Lady's sister, Dr. Nyantechi. That is what we are using the Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund today.
Entirely?
So, I mean, at least in support. But you see, this whole conversation about E-Levy had come about because this government, in a very boastful, arrogant manner, think that they can bulldoze their way, even when majority of the people of this country have shown that they disagree with the introduction of this, what is often called Bamia tax.
But the government has told you why they need the money now. Because look, literally we're broke. We can't run to IMF because of the conditionalities. So we need to generate homegrown domestic revenue to be able to run our business.
You see,
all the things you're asking for, roads,
thankfully,
schools, hospitals.
Thankfully, my brother here is a member of the Finance Committee of Parliament. The 2020 Auditor General's report, right, shows that the overall volume of financial irregularity recorded the year ending December 2020 is a little over 12 billion Ghana cedis.
That's right.
I have listened to Minister Opon Nkrumah make the point that without going for this E-Levy, they will not be able to raise a little over 6 billion Ghana cedis. And the fundamental assumption of this E-Levy is that the projected monies that have gone through Momo transaction over the period is in excess of 500 billion. And so 1.5% of it automatically gives a lazy way of making money So already they have 1.75%, and that gives them 6 billion Ghana cedis. And that, if they don't go for this E-Levy, they'll be forced to go to the IMF for a bailout. Minister Oppong Nkrumah had made a point. So it is not correct when it is suggested to us that they need this levy in order to do infrastructure projects to create jobs and what have you. And the reason is simple. And you asked a very intelligent question. He never answered. You asked him that the communication service tax is supposed to do exactly what you claim the E-Levy is coming to do. What happened to the communication service tax? You have also increased it with a period of time. Do you know what Minister Ken Ofori-Atta has done?
What has he done?
Immediately he came, he introduced this legislation to Parliament, the Capping and Realignment Act.
5%.
Good. So the money that is coming to these statutory funds, he is capping them. And it is on record. Look, so much money is going into road fund that the money that goes into road fund should be enough to do our roads. What Minister Ken Ofori-Atta had done is that he is capped it. So that if 1.9 billion is supposed to go into the road fund, he will take 900 million and leave 1 billion.
I hear you.
And you see, Johnny, let nobody mistake what is going on now. You see, you have imposed so much hardship on the good people of this country. You have reintroduced the benchmark value system into items that are basic household items, including even Indomie.
Well, there are 41. The government says that we are cutting those ones so that we can empower local industries to produce.
And you see,
and encourage local consumption.
The two of us here, we've had the benefit of reading economics. There's always what you call the local capacity to meet immediate demands. So that if you're even saying that the reason for the reversal is to assist local industry, what you cannot also take out is the immediate capacity of local industry to meet the demand. So the mere fact that you have done this does not mean that immediately local industries will have the capacity to meet our demand.
I spoke with Napo here. He sat in Stephen Amoah's chair. I asked him the first item on the benchmark values list that came out, the 41, was sugar. I asked him how we're going to get local production of sugar.
Exactly the point I'm making.
And then he said that, for example, he's a doctor. Sorry, and that sugar is not too good for us. So it is also a way for government to discourage people from taking sugar.
You see, so in one breath, it is to assist local production. In another breath, it is to stop consumption. I mean, you don't really know.
Of what is dangerous
and
to
you.
you.
See, and the problem is the policy inconsistency. If you recall, when this benchmark conversation started in 2019, the vice president eloquently said, oh, the reason is to increase imports. You recall? Today, why the reversal? Because at that time, they were facing the 2020 election. And so they needed to do something, as it were, to deceive the populace, the electorate.
No, not to deceive.
That is it. Immediately they got the benefit of power. What is it that they are doing? If you recall, and you see the deception, the pattern of it is so telling. If you recall, in 2020 before the election, our vice president went into the studios of Peace FM. He was asked a simple question, because at that time, the minority had hinted that they were going to tax Momo. He went there and said, look, Momo is for poor people. This. And that will never do that. It is not proper. Because there was an election. So they needed to deceive the electorate. Immediately they got elected. Then the Momo conversation.
I hear you. Thank you. Stevie, I'll give you. Let me come to Stevie.
You basically gave the whole time.
No, I've not given you the whole time. I've measured the time. I just checked my clock. Okay.
You see, Sika here made the point. Oh, that there were 26 taxes.
Right, tax components that you introduced. Right.
That, when they came, they have done this, they have done this. First of all, when we brought ESLA, our friends then in opposition told us that ESLA was nuisance. Today, ESLA had a sunshine clause of 5 years. They have borrowed using ESLA receivables as collateral for 10 years. So ESLA that had a sunshine clause of 5 years we are doing. But another critical issue.
No. You said you agree with that.
See,
allow Stevie.
No. You see,
No. You not. Your mic is off. Your mic is off.
No. Please.
Stika, quickly. Take a minute. Stika, take a minute on this one.
Because
so now,
gave him
I am giving you equal time. Stika, take a minute on this, and he will take a minute, and we'll go. Now, quick one.
I think I have to.
The minority has, if you like, succeeded in railroading your intention to have the E-Levy passed. What next for government? Because you told us it's in a key revenue line for 2022. What next?
I think Ghanaians rather need a levy. It will help them. It's like giving medicine to your child. And the medicine probably is not like sugar. Definitely the child will say, oh, daddy. But after the child is well, revived, very healthy, Daddy, thank you, this is what will happen. I'll leave your question for Finance Minister and those who are directly in charge to answer. But I can tell you the E-Levy, it's something that inevitably we need as a
I didn't say we don't need. I'm saying that right now. You told us that it is a major thing
you said that
to run government.
You said that the VAT, they had to repackage it.
That's right.
I'm sure this one will go the same.
But how are you going? So how are you going to run now? But so how are you going to run now?
Oh, but we've done some appropriations. We've approved appropriations already.
Yes.
So definitely.
But then you told us that.
Oh, Johnny, let me
hold on. Sorry.
Give me only 1 minute.
I'll give you.
Yes.
I'm asking a question. Sorry, Doc. Yes. I'm saying that you had given us a plan and a policy, and told us that you were going to fund it largely based on E-Levy. Now the E-Levy is not coming. What is your next step? How are you going to get money to fund the plans
but that's why we have budget, actuals. Then we have
estimates,
and then we have the variations.
Right.
Definitely, these are all programs. Even with the E-Levy, doesn't mean we can fund all the programs. Either we can do more projects or even less.
Okay.
That's why it remains budget.
I hear you.
But can I share with you? But please, there hasn't been any statistical analysis or research, scientific research, for people who are concluding that most Ghanaians are saying they don't like. These are propaganda talk. And two, I also advise my lawyer brother here that I think we need to respect in our society. Because his choice of words, insulting, using words which do not represent road minister, represent even the president, those words are not good enough. In any case, the result is what you said, which I like. Judicious use of state funds.
Right.
NDC as a social democratic party, they are supposed to do pro-poor policies. Tell me one pro-poor policy of national character and tenacity they could implement. With all the taxes they took. Even teachers and nurses allowance, they cancelled them. With the economy, they cannot manage. It's a fact. Check all time, do trend analysis. Pro-poor policies, they cannot. And sometimes they speak as if they are, and I'm surprised that he's warning that the next time, if it happens, it will be more fatal. I'm shocked. As a lawyer, you are threatening that you fight and kill people in parliament or what?
We are not understanding.
No, I'm saying that we are not ready to fight and kill.
Okay.
Democracy is not about violence.
Thank you very much. Grateful.
Democracy is about having respect for Ghanaians.
Thank you very much.
MPP will not fight.
They say your sound is gone. Thank you.